The morning everyone laughed at the man pushing the cleaning cart, no one noticed the little girl waiting for him outside the building with a handmade lunchbox and a note that simply read, "Daddy, I know today will be better." They saw an ordinary cleaner in a faded blue uniform. They saw worn-out shoes, tired eyes, and rough hands. What they didn't see was a man carrying a broken heart, raising a daughter alone, and hiding the truth that he was the only son of the billionaire woman who owned the entire company. Sometimes the richest people wear the simplest clothes, and sometimes the kindest souls are treated like they are invisible. Before we continue, if you believe kindness always comes back, and that everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us bring more emotional stories like this every week. Ethan Carter had never wanted the luxurious life his family expected. Years earlier, after marrying the love of his life against the wishes of his powerful mother, he walked away from the family fortune. They built a simple but beautiful life together until tragedy struck. His wife passed away after a sudden illness, leaving Ethan to raise their 5-year-old daughter, Lily, by himself. Overnight, the confident businessman became a grieving single father struggling to balance work, bills, and bedtime stories. Every decision he made revolved around one promise he whispered at his wife's bedside, that Lily would always grow up surrounded by love instead of wealth. His mother, Margaret Carter, had watched from a distance. She regretted the years lost to pride but believed words alone could never repair what had been broken. Instead of offering him a luxurious office, she made an unexpected proposal. Ethan would spend 6 months working anonymously as a cleaner inside Carter Global, the billion-dollar company she had built from nothing. No executive, manager, or employee would know his identity. She wanted him to see the company through the eyes of its lowest-paid workers, and she wanted to discover who among her employees treated people with genuine respect rather than titles. Ethan accepted, not because he wanted to prove anything, but because he needed steady work while caring for Lily. Every morning he cleaned shining marble floors before executives arrived. He emptied trash bins filled with expensive lunches that could have fed his daughter for days. He polished glass walls that reflected faces too busy to notice him. Most employees passed without a glance. Some complained about tiny mistakes. Others dropped coffee cups on purpose, expecting him to clean the mess without even saying thank you. Each evening he picked Lily up from school. She never cared that her father smelled like cleaning chemicals or came home exhausted. She simply hugged him with all the strength in her little arms. Together they cooked simple dinners, laughed over homework, and read fairy tales before bed. Those quiet moments reminded Ethan that true success had nothing to do with money. Weeks passed before someone finally looked at him as if he mattered. Her name was Sophie Bennett, a young project manager known throughout the company for her intelligence and calm personality. Unlike everyone else, she greeted every employee with the same warm smile, whether they wore expensive suits or cleaning uniforms. Whenever Ethan worked near her office, she thanked him sincerely. If she spilled coffee, she cleaned it herself before he could reach it. During lunch breaks she often left an extra sandwich on the staff table, pretending she had packed too much food so no one's pride would be hurt. At first Ethan assumed she was simply being polite. But kindness repeated every day eventually reveals character. Sophie never asked what someone earned or what position they held. She cared only about how they were doing. One rainy afternoon Ethan noticed Sophie sitting quietly in the cafeteria after everyone else had left. Her eyes were fixed on a photograph she quickly slipped back into her purse. Though sadness covered her face, she greeted Ethan with the same gentle smile. Over the following weeks he learned that Sophie had been supporting her younger brother through medical school after losing both parents in a car accident years earlier. She never spoke about her struggles unless someone genuinely asked. Despite carrying her own burdens, she somehow found the strength to encourage everyone around her. Without realizing it, Ethan began looking forward to seeing her every morning. Her kindness slowly healed wounds he thought would remain forever. For the first time since losing his wife, he smiled without forcing himself. Not everyone appreciated Sophie. Some executives mocked her for wasting time talking to cleaning staff and receptionists. One arrogant department head even warned her that spending time with people below her level would ruin her chances of promotion. Sophie ignored every insult. She believed respect was free and should never depend on someone's salary. Meanwhile, Margaret quietly observed everything through security reports and anonymous employee evaluations. She saw which executives ignored cleaners, which managers abused junior staff, and which people quietly helped others without expecting recognition. Sophie's name appeared again and again in positive reports. Ethan's name appeared only as employee 417, the dependable cleaner who never complained despite impossible workloads. One evening Ethan stayed late polishing the executive conference room before an important board meeting. As he worked, several senior executives entered, assuming he had already finished. They openly discussed plans to blame hundreds of lower-level employees for financial mistakes they themselves had made. Ethan listened silently while wiping the conference table. No one cared that a cleaner was standing only a few feet away. To them he was invisible. The next morning Sophie noticed Ethan looked troubled. Though he never revealed what he had overheard, she sensed something was wrong. She simply placed a warm cup of coffee beside him and wrote on the paper cup, "Even the hardest days end." Those 5 simple words stayed with Ethan for the rest of the day. At home that evening Lily asked her father if people at work were nice to him. Ethan smiled gently and told her that most people were too busy to notice others, but one person always remembered to be kind. Lily innocently replied that maybe kind people were the real superheroes. Ethan realized his daughter was right. Days later the company's annual charity gala arrived. Every executive wore elegant suits and expensive jewelry while Ethan quietly cleaned the ballroom before guests arrived. As people walked past without acknowledging him, Sophie stopped, thanked him for making the room beautiful, and wished him a peaceful evening. Margaret watched the exchange from across the hall, hiding a proud smile. She had finally found the answer she had been searching for. If this story is touching your heart so far, please take a moment to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. Stories of kindness only grow stronger when people share them with others. As the night unfolded, Ethan had no idea that his secret was about to change every life in that ballroom. The woman who respected a cleaner was about to discover she had unknowingly earned the trust of the billionaire family's only heir, not because of his wealth, but because she had seen his humanity long before she ever learned his name. Speech Balloon special request: before this story ends, tell us in the comments, would you treat a cleaner with the same respect as a CEO? Why or why not? Sometimes life hides extraordinary people behind ordinary uniforms. Wealth can open doors, but kindness opens hearts. Ethan discovered that true love is not built on power or status, but on the simple choice to respect another human being. And in the end, the only woman who treated him like he mattered became the greatest blessing he and little Lily never expected. Some people search their entire lives for someone who sees beyond appearances. Ethan found that person when the whole world refused to look.